Well, we're still working on our 200 drawing prompt book, and today we're up to drawing prompt 154, something melting. We tried to think out of the box, and we remembered a movie called Raiders of the Lost Ark with Harrison Ford. And so in the climactic scene, the German soldiers are open up the ark and are blasted by the rays, and they melt. And so we tried to capture one of those soldiers melting. You want to see how we did it? Stay tuned, because that's what we're going to do today. Well, today's prompt is something melting. So we need to fill this page with some kind of a drawing. Well, I thought about what our subject was going to be, and something melting. I was trying to think of something, I don't know, unique or something. But I thought about candles and snowmen, and even crayons and all that stuff. But then I got thinking about an old movie called Raiders of the Lost Ark, and remember at the end, the soldiers opened up the ark, and it spit out some kind of energy that melted them. And so we're going to try our hand at making us a melting German soldier. This is the famous image of the melting doctor. But there were other German soldiers there. You notice I'm not using the N word because YouTube algorithm doesn't like it. But there were some other soldiers in formation, and this is another melting soldier. And what I've done is I've put a line across here and a line across here, divided the drawing into 4 quadrants. And then in our book here, I don't know, you just barely see them, these lines. I divided the book into, the page into 4 quadrants. So that's a pretty neat little trick you can use. That way I know, for example, I know that this part of his face up in here, I know exactly where it goes on my page. The reason I'm not, the reason I don't want to talk about the political affiliation that these particular Army guys were associated with is the YouTube algorithm looks for certain words, anything that's controversial, vulgar language, controversial topics, all that stuff. I had and what they do is they they demonetize you. Well, in my case, that doesn't really matter much because, you know, I don't even, you know, I'm not, you know, you don't earn very much money when you only get 45 views for a video. But what it does do, even for small YouTubers like me, they don't promote your video, so you don't get any views, and so you have to keep it. You have to keep it kind of vanilla. I don't have any problems with cussing or anything. I don't have anything against colorful language. But I was a high school teacher for 10 years, and I was in the military hanging out with higher ranking officers, and you never knew. You always had to be careful what you said. You know, you didn't want to make somebody mad by cussing too much. So I was able to break the cussing habit, but I had a video that was demonetized in my woodworking series. It was for a pet casket. The neighbor's cat died, and they had the cat for like 15 years, and so it was part of the family. So they wanted a little casket to bury him in, and so I built a little pet casket. Well, the algorithm saw the word casket, and that was the end of it. They demonetized it, stopped promoting it, you know, the whole spiel. And I'm not down on YouTube either. I mean, I can upload videos for free. They organize them, recommend them to people, save them for me, and I don't have to do anything. All I gotta do is upload it. I mean, to me, the service they provide, a fellow'd almost pay for it. I mean, I don't even have to save my videos. They save them for me. And then every so often I get a notification that they don't give you any money until you earn like $100 or something, and that takes me a long time. But every now and then, they actually give me money. Not very much, in my case, because I don't have a, I don't have a big channel. Some channels are, I was watching guys like Musty One, Vice Grip Garage. Some of those channels, I mean, they'll have another one I like is Let's Dig 18. Well, those guys, their video will come out, and they'll have 20,000 views in the first, as fast as YouTube can count them up. They're, they're racking them up, like, getting 1 million views and all that. Even some, even some big time entertainers have YouTube channels now. If you get a lot of views, like you're a Taylor Swift or Jimmy Carr, that kind of thing, you can, it's another revenue stream. This movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark, I realize that a lot of you haven't seen it. Well, a lot of people have seen it. It's one of the most famous movies there is. It's came out, I think, in about 1990 or 1980, which makes it pretty old movie. But I had this archaeologist who went by Indiana Jones. And he takes off to try to recover the Lost Ark of the Covenant, which is a container that contained the original 10 Commandments, I believe. And and he, after several adventures, then the German military, and this all took place in about 1935. So the German military, they were looking for it too, with an evil doctor who was looking for it. And they finally find it. When they open it up, or the Nazis open it up, it blasts out some kind of a wave of energy that melts the German soldiers. And so that's the reason for this drawing. Something melting. So what I'm doing now is just added some melting to his face, and I'm adding some the fire or whatever it is coming this way, right into his face. So I want to put some flames. Flames coming off the cloth of his uniform and his hat. And have his skin melting. Really is a pretty good movie. If you haven't seen it, it'd be worth watching. But it's not one of the movies that I watch all the time. I have some movies I watch all the time. I watch Caddyshack. I watch To Hell and Back with Audie Murphy. It's one of my favorite movies. Another movie I watch all the time, and I don't know why I like it so much, but it's another Rodney Dangerfield movie called Back to School. It's really kind of a stupid movie, but I watch it all the time. Maybe it's because I just like Rodney Dangerfield. I'm going to have some of his melting face kind of melting backwards too, or to the side, being blown by the blast wave. I think the star of the show, this drawing will be, you can probably see it here, melting skin and fire. So I think I'll outline that, and outline the fire and the skin. You know, fire is one of those things that's kind of random, but it's not random, you know? If that can... It has randomness, but it has certain form too. So it's sort of random within certain physical guidelines. That's one of the things I kind of study in a field of science called chaos theory. I think it is. The things like water moving and plasma moving and air moving. It's sometimes it seems chaotic, but then when you step back and look at it, it's not as chaotic as you thought it was. Okay, I don't have any flames on his face. I don't know why I even I don't know why I even picked this example, because it's not looking anything like the original. Yeah, these particular pictures, the only pictures you have this are all screenshots. You know, they don't have any photographs of this. It was all special effects. I think the special effects are one of the reasons I don't watch this movie all the time, because I think this is the movie that had the rail car going down the tracks through a tunnel, and you could tell that it just a model. I really like a movie called The African Queen with Katharine Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart. I mean, that movie is just marvelous. Until the point where they go through the rapids, and it's obviously, it's just poorly done. They got these models that are supposedly representing the African queen. It just doesn't look right. Humphrey Bogart won an Academy Award Best Actor that year for that movie. It was good. I thought Katharine Hepburn was even better, but I guess she can't complain because over her career she won 4 Oscars for Best Actress. Okay, I got the flames in there. Now let's do some skin, melting skin. I'll outline that in brown. I'm struggling with this ink pen. Now to make this look like he's melting, I've got to keep these. The edges of these rounded, so it looks like it's dripping. But my ink pen, it's not working for me. Yeah, see, like these sharp edges here, I've got to fix those. They can't come to a point. They need to look like drips. So I'll come down here like this and make a drip. And it looks like I think I'll put a couple of flames right in here just for the flames are pointed. I don't think my drawing's coming out as good as I hoped it would. I don't know. I kind of look at failures as, if you don't have a failure every now and then you never know when you have a non-failure, you don't have anything to compare it to. If everything is great, then great becomes average. If everybody bowls a 300 game, then a 300 game becomes standard. I watched yesterday's video. I didn't edit it. I just took it out of the camera and uploaded it into my video editor. Saved it to my C drive. And uploaded it to YouTube. And I actually, then I watched it, in YouTube. And I thought it turned out okay. I talked too much, but turned out okay. I mean, it was because usually I don't watch my videos on YouTube because I've already watched them. I was here, and then I edited the thing. And if you have an hour and a half of footage, and you cut it down to 18 minutes, you're tired of looking at it. But when you just shoot it and send it, then you get to see it for the first time. This eagle. This eagle has a political symbol in it that I'm going to leave out. We have everybody's easily offended. I like this style of drawing. kind of turned it into a coloring book, and then then you just color it in. I think Art Weenies would just call it an illustration. But I kind of like, I kind of like finished products. You know what I mean? I like to. Back in my woodworking channel, my goal was always to start with a blank sheet of paper, and at the end of the video have a finished product. Well, that's our goal here too. The thing I'll do here is kind of go around and put some, I don't think this is red, this is called germanium lake, and kind of color the base of the flames in this red. Let me get some real red. This is cherry red, so that's red. And then I'll add some orange and some yellow. Try to make them look like flames. Up in here his face has caught fire, and his uniform has caught fire. Now I'm going to fill his face in with this color called beige, and then I'll put his melting skin slightly different color, maybe even I'll put some beige in our melting pot. I don't usually draw this kind of hateful stuff. But I didn't find this as hateful as ordinarily would for some reason. I think because it's sort of stylized. It's like watching a cartoon or something. the roadrunner throws the coyote off the cliff and he falls 2,000 feet and lands in the valley. You know, it's not, you know, it's just not real, you know what I mean? And this, you know, this is just a movie thing. Because I, you know, of course, skin doesn't melt, you know, first of all. So that's the first thing to think about. Okay, let's see if we can figure out some way to put some melting skin in here. Well, this color is called burnt sienna, and it's just slightly different color than the beige. And I can darken it up if it doesn't. It's not give me the effect I want. He's got some drips coming off his mouth. There's a long drip. And these some drips on the other side of his face. Let's get some. Where's my darkness? I need darkness. What is this? This is burnt umber. That's dark. This movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark, it starred and they made about 4 sequels, but it starred an actor named Harrison Ford. He was the guy that played Han Solo in Star Wars, the original. There was, I think he had a love interest too, but I don't remember. I didn't pay much attention to that. There are a couple of good scenes in the movie. One was improvised when some tribesmen challenged him and pulled out a long sword and, and was swinging it around and stuff. And Indiana Jones just pulled out his gun and shot him. And apparently that was originally just improvised. I think about that when I watch one of my favorite recent movies is Star Trek, the reboot, the 2009. I thought that was a pretty good movie. The second one, I think it's called Into Darkness or something. I didn't like that one. And then the third one didn't like either. But the first one was good. But what I was going to say, so when Kirk and Zulu space jump, which is impossible, by the way, but they space jump onto the drill, and they got all that 23rd century technology, and it turned into a sword fight and a boxing match with all that technology. I guess they kind of explained it away by showing the gun being knocked over the side and all that, but it's still kind of interesting. Now here's a dilemma I have. In both of my sample pictures here, the eyes are white, but it's not working. It's not working in my drawing. When I suggest some pupils and make the eyes red, put some kind of color in it. Maybe I'll add some. Yeah, that's probably okay. Okay, let's work on the uniform a little bit. Well, it's just about drum roll time. I'm adding some detail to the flames. The flames are kind of stylized. Well, there's our drawing for something melting. We try to think out of the box, and we remembered a movie called Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. And in it, the German soldiers who stole the Ark opened it up, and they were melted in the climactic scene. So we kind of did a drawing depicting that melting. Trying to get skin to look like it's melting is not easy. But that's our drawing for today. See what we got tomorrow. Palace 155. Hope to see you then.